Hi, Laura Clucker here with Empower Every Day, and you are listening to You So Got This. Welcome to my show. So, okay, you guys, I know every time I have a show, I'm super crazy excited, and you're like, she's going to be super crazy excited again today, and I am. I have a very special treat for you, but I think I'm going to keep it. I'm just going to let you wait a little bit longer for it before I tell you what it is, but I'm so excited. Okay. So before we get to the super special treat, we're going to start with my confidence tip of the day. I really sort of want to be honest with you today and sort of let a little bit of myself out here and sort of be a little vulnerable in what I'm going to say. I had sort of a rough March followed by an equally rough April. And now it is May and I have several choices in front of me. I could be very despondent, angry. I can tell myself I'm not any good. I can't do this. What was I thinking? You know, I'm really bad at what I do. Or I can treat myself with care and compassion. And that's what I want to talk to you about today for the confidence tip of the week is care and compassion. So you may be wondering, how does care and compassion relate to confidence? Confidence really is a trust in your ability and really trusting in yourself, and we've discussed that before. And really with care and compassion, it's just that kindness to yourself helps you build up that trust in who you are. Now think about it. If somebody was constantly berating you with negativity and just saying how awful you are at something, would you be inclined to trust that person? Probably not. And so when you do that to yourself, you sort of break that trust with yourself. So what I want to encourage you to do this week, and all the following weeks and forever and ever, throughout your life, is to really work on treating yourself with that care and compassion. When things aren't going your way and you're really wondering what that next step is, what's the right thing for you, use some care when you talk with yourself, some care in how you treat yourself, and think of you in very compassionate terms. And that not only makes you feel good, which is nice, we all like to feel good, but also helps you reestablish and build that trust in yourself, which resonates into an increase in confidence. So my confidence tip of the week is care and compassion. I've been practicing that with myself this month to keep myself motivated and driven after 2 sort of hard months that did send me almost under the desk eating cookies, but not quite there. But really sort of questioning where I'm at, and that compassion has really led me to keep going forward. Now, we're going to go to break, and after break, just like I promised you, we have a very, very, very special treat. Yay! And I'm going to wait till after the break, so you just got to hold on and find out what the special treat is. I'm so excited. I've told you a billion times that I'm so fortunate to have the type of people in my life that I have, and I cannot express enough gratitude for these individuals that I've met in my life, and the gratitude that they're coming on my show and like talking with me and sharing with you all of their immense awesomeness. And my guest has so much immense awesomeness. It's just like shining. It's just like exploding out of this person, and you'll be like, wow. We're gonna go to break, and then we're gonna come back, and you're gonna meet my very special guest.
All right, this is Clint Fuquay with the Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show, and you've heard the show, you've heard me talk about all kinds of stuff with health and wellness. On April 1st, this is not an April Fool's joke, you can get the book of the show. That's right, Personal Healthcare Reform, the book, and the work through its book, because this is something you have to work through. This isn't a mandate, this is your own reform for health care. That's right, Personal Healthcare Reform. Buy the book, April 1st, don't be a fool.
This is Laura Clucker with Empower Every Day, bringing the oomph into your life and business. And I specialize in confidence. Whether you're looking to make a change in your life, whether you're just looking to get that boost, or whether you're sitting under the desk eating cookies and you want to bring yourself back out, I'm here to say, you so got this. So you can reach me at laura@empowereveryday.com. My website is empowereveryday.com. Or feel free to give me a call, 214-966-0715. Again, it's empowereveryday.com, Laura@empowereveryday.com if you want to shoot me an email, or just drop me a line at 214-966-0715. Laura Klecker, Empower Every Day, bringing the oomph into your life. And I'm here to tell you, you so got this. Welcome back, and you're listening to You So Got This with Laura Klecker. And so I told you we have a very special treat today, and that treat is my amazing, fantastic guest, Blake Hammerton. Yes, we have a man on the show. I'm so excited. So he is going to tell us all about confidence and give you a really cool male perspective. And, we just wanted to change it up here on the program and just let you just listen to all the amazing things he has to say. So I want to start with sort of telling you how I met Blake. I met Blake, I guess, about a year ago through, just to sort of put this delicately, I had something happen. It didn't really go the way I wanted it to. I was sort of left out. It was just a bad experience. But from that bad experience, I was able to meet Blake. And I remember when I met Blake, I'm like, look, man, I have been burned. I don't know what to do. I need this stuff done. I need someone to help me. And he was like, we got this. And I love that. I mean, you know how much I just love saying that phrase, And he was totally on board, and he was willing to work with me. And not only is he a great web designer, which is what he does for me, but he's just a great person. One of the things that I really, truly enjoy about Blake and our friendship is we'll get together to meet for lunch or breakfast or whatever to talk about website design or whatever. But he also just gives me great insight and feedback and this whole new perspective on things that I never would have thought of, and this whole amazing energy and motivation that when I leave, I just feel renewed and ready to go, and this whole new sort of energy within my space because I just sat and talked with Blake. And so it's so much more than just, what are you going to do with my website? It's so much more than, how was your weekend? There's so much to having someone give you a very insightful perspective and really valuable feedback that can just change your day, change your outlook, and really re-motivate you and just help you on that road to success. And Blake is that person for me. I know Blake is that person for other people. He is a very unique, phenomenal individual. And again, I said it before and I'll say it again, I cannot be thankful enough that these people are around me and surrounding me and in my life. So, of course, I'm going to let Blake introduce himself to you and let you know a little bit more about him now that I've sort of told you how I met him and just the kind of person I feel that he is. I will let him share with you a little bit about who Blake is.
Well, okay, so first of all, thank you. That is wildly unnecessary, all that thanks and goodness. I'm thankful for how grateful you are, and of course I'm grateful to have you in my life. You are amazing. And I think that what makes us gel so well is that you come from a confidence place and empowerment, and I come from a confidence place and empowerment, but we sort of speak different languages, and it's just cool sometimes to bounce ideas around with you and see what comes out of it. So it's always exciting. But again, I did meet you. You had Jamie, my lady. So she was on the show before, and you guys always have a really good time. So yeah, I've always been looking forward to coming on and seeing how best I can help you listeners and talk about where I'm from and what I do. Is that my cue to do that now?
Yeah. Please tell us about who you are, where you came from, a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, first thing is I have a varying background in different types of sales. I've always been in sales and communication pretty much forever, but I am the epitome of jack of all trades and master of some. So I was a master mechanic. I did roofing and siding and skylights. I did inside sales for education. I did financial planning. I've done so many things, printing, graphic design. But in 2008, I wanted to do something better. I wanted to do something more with people. So I went to school for coaching because my drummer, I was in a band. Of course, there's another thing to the list. My drummer's mother was a coach, and she met with me and said, you want to go to school and actually learn what this means. It's not just go out and talk to people and call yourself a coach. You actually have to know what you're doing. So I went to school, and that moment in my life in 2008 was so pivotal that from that point forward, I knew no matter what I do going forward, I have to always make sure the flavor of everything I do revolves around opening someone up to how great they can be. Mm-hmm. So whether that happens to be in just a teaching moment, in something silly like how to chop an onion correctly, or how to do anything silly, how to change a tire, how to clean the grill. It doesn't matter what it is, but there's always an opportunity to have a teaching moment where you can light somebody up by empowering them and giving them confidence as they learn through stuff. So I've been doing that, and then I've been coaching since 2008, and I went to hypnosis school to do hypnotherapy, which is really cool because it teaches you so much more about communication. And through that, it allows me to really find out what you're doing and if there's some incongruencies. For example, you talk to someone who sounds really confident, seems really confident, but their body language tells you they're lying, tells you that they're actually feeling very small, they're just playing a really big game. You can call them out on that and help them work through some of the incongruencies and actually show them how to generally, authentically be confident. And that's always been amazing to me. So right now, I work with men, and I do the Sharp Gentleman, which is Jay Hilburn custom clothing, but I do a spin on it with coaching. So I can get you to look sharp and feel sharp, but through the coaching, I want you to actually become powerful, become sharp, become authentically empowered to do amazing things. So we got to get some of those roadblocks that you put up for yourself. We got to get those out in the open, because once they're out and we see what we're dealing with, we can make some really huge changes, and you'll also look really good doing it.
Yay, I love it. So first, I loved what Blake shared with you about his past, because for myself, I do run into a lot of women in particular who come to me and say, well, Laura, I've always done this, so can I do this? Or is it okay for me to go from this to this? And this is really all I know, but I'm really interested in this. And there's sort of this hesitation to open yourself up and be creative and explore all these other interests. And what Blake has shown you, what he described, is that there can be this journey of, I was a drummer and I was a financial planner, and then I decided to become a coach, and then I did this and I was a mechanic, and really exploring all these things in your life that you have an interest in, or what you're drawn to, or your journey is taking you. And one thing I've learned, and this really happened last month for me, is that your journey can take you in some places that you never expected. But if you sort of put your hands up in the air and let it go, you would be amazed at where that journey goes, even if it wasn't expected or planned for, or you really were like, oh, I'm going to do this, and that's all I can do. And so what I love about Blake is he's such an amazing example of letting life take you where it wants to take you, and really exploring and enjoying that journey within itself. And what I also love is the openness, and really being available for people, and saying that even though it may seem like a small activity or a small moment in your life, it can really grow into something huge and spectacular. And I love that Blake has that outlook in life and sort of sees situations around him in that way, and say something like just chopping an onion can be something so much more than chopping an onion. I mean, sometimes it really is just chopping an onion, but
it's
really,
true.
It's true.
It's not emotional. Yeah. I'm not crying. It's the onion. It's just an onion. I'm chopping an onion. I think the biggest thing that you said earlier about compassion and caring, as per the coaching tip of the week, is really, when you look at your life, if your life, like the Air Force commercial years ago, if your life was a DVD, would you watch it? Or maybe that was Navy. But I look at my life that way, as everyone has the ability to enter the world, and then it can become a hell, or it can become a playground. And so many of us get inundated with all the things we have to do, and the people we have to be, and the roles we have to play, that, God forbid, we break any one of those rules and do something we enjoy. We're not allowed to play. It's too serious. And I feel like that's such a disservice to ourselves. So the caring and compassion, if you are taught that this is who you have to be for the rest of your life, and you're not supposed to make any changes. Don't become a mechanic and then decide you want to become a movie star. Those are two, you can't do that, Blake. That's silly. I invite you to do the compassion exercise for yourself and give yourself the space to enjoy your life, because you got one shot through this, and then what do you have at the end of it? You're at the end of your life, and what did you do? You did that one thing they said that you should do, but you really always wanted to do that other 12 things. So do yourself a great service and allow yourself to just authentically do the things that you love the most, and give yourself the space to experience that. Have some caring and compassion. That's a great tip of the week. I love that.
Thank you, Blake. And I love your follow through with that. It's amazing. And when Jamie was on last week, remember I challenged everyone to try something new, which Blake has done that in his entire life, and look where it's brought him. I mean, such adventure. And if you marry that with care and compassion, just imagine. Share with me in the audience, and I love real life examples because I really want you guys to latch on to what we're saying, because there's so much truth and value to what Blake is sharing with you today. Really a pivotal moment in your life where you feel confidence or compassion or really having that openness to your life's journey really just took you to that next level.
That is the easiest story to tell and the one I've been telling the most. So I come from Chicago, and on the 13th of May, it will be 1 year in Texas. So I remember back in, let's say, late September, very early October of 2012, and I'm with my coach who just had some dinner, and I'm in a relationship that's sort of falling apart, and we're standing outside walking to the car, and I say, you know what, Marcia, I want to fall in love. I want adventurous love. I'm tired of working at relationships and trying to make things happen and trying to build a life I'm supposed to have, and I'm declaring it. I want adventurous love. I want to love wildly and uncontrollably, and I don't care where it takes me, but that's what I want. And she said, now that you know that, you will find that. So I just sort of changed my frequency, and then, 26th of October, Jamie and I met in an online video class to learn how to use YouTube for business. So it wasn't technically we met online, but then we basically met online. So, sort of went through things, and we started talking to each other, and she ended up flying up to Chicago for New Year's. I had ended that relationship that I was in before, and then started talking with Jamie about things, and it just sort of blossomed into something. So 41 days after we decided maybe if we were close to each other, we would maybe sort of date, she flew up to Chicago on the 30th of December, and once she was there, that was it. It was like the rest of my tomorrows were decided for me, and I didn't have any idea where that was going to take me, but I was going to love her wildly, and that was just going to be it. So I think the biggest thing was once I allowed myself the space to not have to have a job in a certain city or not have to have a life a certain way. I just wanted this one emotional, not a doing, it was a being. I needed to have this one sense of being in love and fulfilled and adventurous. That was it. Once that came, I came down to Texas to visit the following month, and when I came back to Chicago, my boss goes, okay, give it to me straight. When are you moving? And I said, probably in May. So, yeah, adventurous love. I got on the plane, and I moved here, and now I live here, and I am wildly in love. So take chances.
Yes, and I am so glad I took that chance, because if he hadn't, I wouldn't have met him, and if I hadn't met him, I wouldn't get all the support from my website. But not only that, just having someone in my life such as Blake to really, like I said before, open me up to new ideas, open me up to new adventures, really have that, back and forth effect of ideas. I just love it. I'm a little sad right now because my producer just put up the 2 finger sign, which means we have 2 minutes, and I have a gazillion more questions. I think Blake may have to come back on the show because I feel like we just started to scrape the surface of what this is.
Now that they know who I am, we can skip all the "he's so great" part. We can go right to the
talk about the business of it. Yes. So, Blake, before we go, if you could just leave us with some final words, and I know, reach out to Blake. Like I said, wear that lipstick last week. Reach out to Blake, please. This connection is going to be beneficial to you. So, Blake, final thoughts and how our listeners can reach out to you.
Well, for me, if you find yourself in your life not fitting, whether it means that you're not fitting into your clothes, or you're not fitting into your social circles, or you're not just fitting into the life you think you should have, if things don't fit, I would very much like to talk to you, because I can find a way for you to find the most comfortable space in your skin, whether it's new clothing that fits you correctly or just a new way to see your life. I will always make sure that you are the sharpest one in the room in every sense of the word. So you can reach me at blakehammerton.com or 972-383-9607. That is the easiest way to find me. I'm all over the internet, Blake Alexander Hammerton. If I don't pop up, I'm probably dead.
And if you please get a hold of me, I would love to speak with you also. And I like to offer all of my listeners a complimentary 30-minute power session where such to really get deep into that power that is you.
Ooh, that's nice.
So I know, that is nice. I love it. So contact me for a complimentary power session. And also, if you want to get a hold of Blake, you can contact me. That's Laura, Laura, at empowereveryday.com. That's Laura at empowereveryday.com. My office number is 214-966-0715. So this just has been a fabulous show. We learned about really taking those steps, being open to new adventures, open to where life is taking you, open to your creativity, and just letting these ideas flow and not get too caught up in this standard society of you have to do this, you have to do that. But what is it that you want to do? How do you want to express yourself? And putting all that care and compassion into it. Oh, I just love it. So Blank, thank you so much. Please get a hold of him. And I will leave you with my final word, which is, you know what it is. Say it with me. You so got this.